The president hit the road today and headed to the Midwest. Yamiche Alcindor reports on Mr. Trump's efforts to reassure American farmers amid rising concerns about the economic fallout of his ongoing trade war with China.
China's doing a little number. They want to attack the Farm Belt because they know the farmers love me. They voted for me. We won every one of the states.
In Iowa and Illinois today, President Trump touted his support for American farmers in a $12 billion farm aid package he announced yesterday. It's to offset tariffs he's put on China, Canada, and Mexico, three of the U.S. agriculture industry's largest trading partners.
Make our farmers great again.
In Granite City, Illinois, Mr. Trump brushed off critics of his trade efforts and told farmers to be patient.
Our farmers are patriots, and they're saying the president is doing the right thing. They interview him on television. They say, I know it's going to be a little tough for a while, but he's doing the right thing.
Our people feed the world. They don't want bailouts. They want more trade.
But the president's trade policy has come under fierce criticism by free trade supporters in his own party. Even Missouri Senator Roy Blunt, normally a strong supporter of Mr. Trump, says trade backlash on farmers is largely an economic wound inflicted by the president himself.
The farm families I work for would rather have open markets than have a government program. But there's obviously a reason for this program, and part of the financial stress that they're seeing is created by the government's decisions on trade.
But today, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin dismissed that criticism.
That's a ridiculous comment. It's not a bailout.
But few agriculture groups have applauded the aid package. The president argues that long-term farmers will be better off. Overwhelmingly, U.S. farmers say that's not the case. They are already facing tough global competition and fear the president's trade war will cost them access to valuable markets that they need to sell crops and other products abroad. Mike Pettifish is a farmer in Claremont, Minnesota, and president of the Minnesota Soybean Growers Association.
So really what would be ideal for us is, the reduction of tariffs and more bilateral trade agreements, more free market access.
Pettifish says farmers are beginning to wonder if the administration has a plan on trade or understands how farmers are affected. That includes sorting out NAFTA negotiations with major buyers of U.S. pork, Canada and Mexico, as well as an exit strategy for an escalating tariff war with China, which imports about 1/3 of America's annual soybean crop.
Basically, we opened up Europe. And that's going to be a great thing for Europe, and it's really going to be a great thing for us.
President Trump today also hailed agreements made with the European Union yesterday to ease tariffs and other market restrictions for U.S. goods like soybeans.
That whole soybean thing is now going to be opened up. No tariffs, no nothing, free trade.
But China's market for U.S. ag products is vastly different than the EU's. China's population is larger, younger, and increasing, with an improving diet and rising demand for U.S. ag products as standards of living rise. In comparison, the EU's population is smaller, older, and decreasing, with no signs of similar demand. Pettifish says the EU deal is a positive development, but not a replacement for China.
Certainly the EU cannot replace the demand going into China. And so it's very important that we try and rebuild or regain that market share.
As for the $12 billion in aid, Pettifish says losses in soybeans alone could amount to at least that much, and that doesn't include U.S. pork, corn, and sorghum growers that have also been hurt by the tariffs.
At the end of the day, farmers want access to markets, not handouts. As farm incomes continue to fall and as farmers get squeezed financially, that'll impact their voting behaviors. And you can rest assured that farmers are paying very, very close attention to this. If these low prices continue to linger around, farmers will have to consider very hard their choice in the upcoming elections.
And it's something Pettifish says will be on rural voters' minds come the November midterms and a presidential race less than 2 years away. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Yamiche Alcindor.